I feel like this top I'm wearing is just way too extra for this video, but I spent money on it, so I'm gonna wear it. Hey, it's Mel, I hope you're doing well, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. Today we're going to be looking into the mystery of the 17 tiny coffins. This case is by far one of the weirdest ones I've covered, and as usual I'm going to leave all my sources linked down below along with my social media. Now let's get into it. It all began in late June 1836 during the summer when a group of schoolboys headed to Edinburgh's rocky peak known as Arthur's Seat to hunt for rabbits. While at Arthur's Seat, the boys spotted a small cave that was hidden behind 3 pointed rocks. The boys moved the rocks only to find 17 tiny coffins. However, only 8 of the coffins survive to present day and remain at the National Museum of Scotland. The coffins were arranged under slates in 3 tiers. Each coffin was 95mm and contained a little wooden figure that was dressed in handmade male clothes. The clothes had been stitched and glued around the figures. All of the coffins and figures had been carved, and some figures were missing an arm or a leg because they didn't fit into the coffin. The figures' faces were all carved in detail, all having wide open eyes. People had their own theories as to why or who built them. Some people think these figures were used as voodoo dolls in some kind of ritual. However, this theory doesn't quite make sense considering that all the figures were found in good condition. The next theory came from a Scottish-American writer called Jeff Nisbet, who believes that the figures may be linked to the Radical War of 1820, which occurred in Scotland from the 1st to the 8th of April. During this time, people were on strike for a week, demanding change, good working conditions, and rights. Later on, the people were put to work building the Radical Road at Arthur's Seat. Jeff Nisbet believes that the coffins and figures may have been left as a coded memento of some kind for those who wanted to see the movement rise again. Others believe that the coffins and figures are an example of something that happened. A curator of European textiles at the National Museum of Scotland suggested that the figures may have been buried at different times, with some being buried in the 1830s. A quick warning, this next part is disturbing. The figures have kind of been linked to the Westport murders that were committed by William Burke and William Hare. This theory emerged in 1990. In the early 19th century in Edinburgh, there was a thriving underground trade in dead bodies. The buyers were usually teachers or medical students who needed the bodies for training or study. However, they were legally limited to a small number of executed convicts. William Burke and William Hare were serial killers who targeted poor people and travellers. Hare and Burke would kill people and then sell their dead bodies to doctors. After making a small fortune, the pair were caught, and Hare ended up testifying in court against Burke for immunity. Burke was hanged in 1829. Burke and Hare claimed the lives of 17 people. However, from some sources I read online, some say that they claimed the lives of 16 and not 17. If they did kill 17 people, then that would match the number of tiny coffins that were found. The theory goes that whoever made these tiny coffins and figures did it to put the victims of Burke and Hare to rest, as those victims in particular didn't get a proper burial or a funeral. Now, apart from the odd number, and there's still some things within that theory that don't quite make sense, besides that, this would be the theory that I lean towards the most. In December 2014, a box was delivered to the National Museum of Scotland. The box contained a figure along with a tiny coffin. It was a replica of the ones that were found back in 1836. The box had no return address on it. A note was included which read 18, suggesting that this was the 18th addition to the group of figures. However, as I mentioned before, only 8 of the coffins remain. The writer of the note also quoted Robert Louis Stevenson's short story, The Body Snatcher, which was published in December 1884. The note was handwritten, and the writer also said that the coffin was a gift to the National Museum of Scotland for, quote, caring for our nation's treasures, end quote. That is the case of the 17 mysterious coffins. I don't know what to think about this case since it happened so long ago, before any of us were even born. I don't think this case will be solved, but I could be wrong. Let me know your thoughts on this case in the comment section down below. Feel free to subscribe, and I will see you all very soon. Take care. Bye.